Welcome back to Fast Market. I'm Tom White, joined by Kevin. Kevin, got stocks bouncing off of lows here.
Holding.
Yeah.
25.90 on the E-minis, kind of holding here. Now 25.94 and a half. Down 1.5% here. Taking a punch, long way to go though, but I think a lot of people, like we just said on that chart, that 2,600 level triggered a bunch of stops. Now can we absorb those stops? I think that's the key to the rest of the day.
Yeah, like Ben Watson always says, does that previous support at 2,600 become resistance now?
And
to the
as we
upside?
say that, 25.99 on the E-minis.
We'll have to wait and see. It's bouncing around. It seems like liquidity is a little bit light out there, but the dollar index, Kevin, up 60 cents, above 97.
All that is right there, that is a delayed Brexit vote, killing the euro and rallying the U.S. dollar.
Yep, and we've got the VIX above 25 also, so we'll have to watch that also. All right, it's time to hit social media for our cash tag segment. Joining us live from Louisville, Kentucky is Landon Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio.com. Hey, happy Monday, Landon.
Happy Monday, gentlemen.
All right, so we're talking something that we all like to do, and that's take vacations, and you're talking cruises and Carnival Cruise Lines today. What are you guys seeing out of LikeFolio?
Yeah, the stat of the day is that it's 71 degrees in Miami right now. So if you're thinking about leaving for a cruise, I know that's warmer than where we're at now. So
that's true. Yeah. It was about 20 degrees this morning when I left the house. So yeah.
And I believe that's the high.
That's the high, right? All right. So what do you got for us?
We look at Carnival Cruise Lines. We're looking at when people are talking about buying cruise tickets or going on cruises in the future. And a lot of times they talk about this a long time before they actually make the purchase. And one thing that we're looking at, their fiscal quarter, actually their fiscal year just ended a little while ago. And when we look at how that Q4 for them did year over year, it is down, not tremendously, but definitely down. And it's kind of snapped an uptrend that we've seen in purchase intent over the last 5 years, along with the stock price. So the stock price and purchase intent has been doing extremely well for the entire time that we've tracked this company. And now we're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround where people are talking less and less. And actually, when you look at not just the last quarter that ended, but the current quarter that's underway, it's off to a bad start as well. So not good news as far as people talking about going on cruises, either in this last fiscal quarter that just ended or the one that just started.
Landon, is there any seasonality to what you guys are talking about? Because clearly right now, especially if you live in the Midwest, we're getting into the cruise season. I know that I leave December 28th on a cruise, so I understand that this is a very seasonal business. Does your data take into account any seasonal factor?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's really key. And that's why we like to look at, especially with a company like this, that's why we like to look at year over year. Quarter over quarter is always going to kind of move around as that seasonality goes. But year over year is very important, and that's why it's important to note that we are down year over year. Now, of course, things could change as maybe the economy gets a little bit more solid, people have more discretionary income, or it starts to get a little bit warmer and people start to think about, what's around the corner as far as vacation goes. Because again, people talk about buying this long before they go on the cruises, often months ahead of time. So this is actually one of our most forward-looking companies. But yeah, it's definitely seasonal, and that's why we're looking at year over year. Landon,
one more quick question. Could this be that another cruise line is doing better and Carnival's doing worse? Is there any, one company eating another company's lunch, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we'd love to look at that. That's one of the first things we look at when we see a big move. Like with, I think it's Lowe's is taken away from Home Depot right now. But in the Carnival, in the cruise line space, no, we looked at other cruises that we cover, and they're all kind of feeling the same thing right now. Is people are talking about them less overall. So it could be industry-wide.
All right, for more on social media, let's bring in Jenny Horn, TD Ameritrade Network's own Jenny Horn, for more information on social media and the cruise lines.
The cruise lines.
Yes.
You see, this was really interesting to me because Carnival Cruise is down on the year, but hotels are actually doing phenomenal. So it's interesting to think if hotels are taking some of this market share away from cruise lines. It was just something I thought about. And something that was also really interesting on social media today is that people love to tweet their negative experiences, and I'm like, it's 20 degrees in Chicago. I don't feel sorry for you people.
I don't care that there's 5,000 people on this boat as long as it's 80 degrees.
They were out of chocolate cake in the buffet line, and this is the worst thing ever.
That's basically the noise you see on social media. I'm like, give me a break. But our first tweet is from Cassidy Blake, who says, Carnival Cruise, I love you, but you are not making my winter blues any better right now, and it's not even officially winter. So this is kind of how I was feeling. Landon, are you seeing this at all on your purchase intent data?
Yeah, so we do look at positive and negative, and for a lot of companies, and Carnival's one of them, purchase intent is far more important. It's far more predictive. In fact, Carnival is one of our most predictive stocks. We get earnings right about 90% of the time with them. They've got a 0.4 correlation to revenue, which is not extremely high, but that's probably because people talk about doing it long before they actually do it. So I wouldn't look too much into happiness unless there's a huge systemic problem, which we haven't seen. People like to complain, as you know, but yeah, they're just not going on cruises as much this quarter and so far the start to the new fiscal year.
All right, Jenny, you got another tweet for us.
I do. Our next tweet is from Kanye Basong, who says, like Carnival for lower, 2-hour chart within bearish ISI and MACD divergence while trading within ascending channel. Looking for a move down to 53-54 area. So what key things are you all watching going into earnings next week?
Well, I think the big key thing is going to be guidance. They can probably do well, and I think you saw that in Landon's data, that they've done well until the last couple numbers or pieces of data that he showed. Is you're going to have to look at guidance going into 2019. Is this economic slowdown overseas going to negatively affect this company, or will this be a buying opportunity? But Kevin, maybe you can hit on this a little bit more. I always look at guidance going forward because stocks are forward-looking.
Exactly right, and it's interesting when you look at something like this. These are, Landon just brought out a great thing. Most of the people in the world don't go on social media and complain, right? Or the people that are happy about it aren't on social media.
There you go. There you go. There's
the complainers are the one. You can say that about Yelp, right? You can say
airlines.
That about, all of them. You only hear from them when they're complaining. No one says, "Oh my gosh, I just had the greatest trip ever." No one says that.
Totally.
Right.
I think those are too far and few between. But Landon, to that point, your data kind of washes out the negative versus positive, right?
Right, yeah, we're listening for negative and positive for sure, and they're usually travel companies, all of them, especially airlines, have a very, very negative slant to them, because Kevin makes a great point. You tweet about it when you're unhappy. But one of the things that we do look at is whether or not people are going on these cruises. So you may be complaining, but you did buy a ticket, and we're tracking that. And so that's really important. And so that's the main thing that we're looking at. Again, that's called purchase intent. We look at negative versus positive, but unless it's a huge move over a long period of time and not just, they're out of chocolate cake, then we're not really paying too much attention. Purchase intent is definitely the most predictive metric that we have.
All right, Landon, now you make me want to, book a vacation right after this show, get out of this cold weather. But thanks for all the data. Appreciate it.